Welcome to another episode of Team Banished TV. I'm Morvox, and with me,
Tiba.
We're going to be casting a TVZ for you today. It's going to be a great match, two really good players. We're going to go ahead and introduce these players to you right now. In the upper left-hand corner, we have the blue Terran. It's LiquidTaeja.
Yeah, it's actually bottom left. Bottom left corner, we got the LiquidTaeja. And in the top right, red, it's going to be Evil Genius's Stephano.
Stephano is a beast. Definitely the master of decision making. He says he doesn't really practice very much, but I kind of find that to be untrue in some ways. It's really hard to be good at StarCraft without practicing.
Yeah, that's true. So out of this map, I should say, what kind of strategies do you think we're going to see out of a Terran and a Zerg here?
Terran is probably going to go command center first. That's kind of what it's looking like he's going to do. As of right now, it looks like the Zerg is probably going to go hatch first. So it looks like they're both going to open greedy.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I definitely agree Zerg went hatch first. What kind of indication do you have that we're going to go command center first? I see it did drop down there, but I didn't know that was going to happen. I thought he was going to put a barracks down first.
Yeah, usually you want to put a barracks down at like 12 or 13 supply,
True.
maybe even 14 supply, but to wait that long, usually you're going to get a command center first.
Yeah, good deal, good deal. Alright. Just Overlord spreading, nothing really going on here. Now this is interesting. I don't even see a spawning pool dropped yet, but he did see the command center first, so Stephano does know he's in a pretty good position here.
Definitely, Stephano is poking in here with his drone. He definitely does see the command center and the barracks, but he does not see the second barracks, so he's not quite sure what exactly Taeja is doing yet. It's like they're just going to engage battle here with the workers. Taeja's going to want to bring that command center down eventually. Do you think maybe Stephano's going to open up with some link pressure to prevent that?
No, I don't see that happening at all. In fact, if you look, his spawning pool just went down. I don't see anything aggressive going on. He's not getting gas, which means he's not going to even push speedlings. To try to be aggressive with slowlings, I don't see him trying that.
Right, that is true. I don't see Stephano being that aggressive right now. He's probably just going to throw down a third and start getting his upgrades. Taeja does come in here and spot the expansion. He knows he's not expecting a one base all in. He's going to come here and see Stephano has no gases, so that means no link speed.
Yeah, he basically doesn't really have anything here going on except for his two bases, just trying to pump drones in them. But any good Zerg player knows if you die droning, you die the right way. It's interesting. I think Stephano's actually going for a third there. It looks like.
Definitely looks like Stephano is heading towards his third expansion, and he does throw it down.
Okay.
One queen on the way for Stephano. He's hitting his larva inject. Still no gas from Stephano.
This is very interesting. Yeah, he's got that command center there, but if we look, LiquidTaeja's actually got a couple units on the board. I see, what is that, like 5 Marines on the board? I'm not seeing Stephano build anything here. He's not ready for any kind of aggression.
No, I don't think Stephano's really expecting any type of aggression from LiquidTaeja. He went over there and saw the fast CC, so he is probably thinking Taeja's just going to macro up.
Yeah, if we look, yeah, he even sent his Overlord in at the bottom, but he didn't actually see that second barracks being built. No, yeah, he only seen the one barracks still. As far as he's concerned, I bet you he's feeling pretty good.
Definitely, a group of Marines are moving out here. I really don't think Stephano's expecting this early Marine pressure.
No, as far as I can tell, I haven't seen these Marines pass any kind of like Overlord or any kind of creeps, so I think they're good right now. Stephano, no idea they're coming. He's trying to put up a little wall there, but not even a spine crawler in it.
No, he's going to depend on his queens and sort of a semi-wall off with the evolution chambers, but LiquidTaeja's hitting the third. He's hitting the third base, and it's going to fall. Stephano was not expecting this at all.
He could build some lings here. I mean, if he right now built some lings, and now he's building drones, putting a roach horn down, it looks like he's just going to let that third drop.
Looks like Stephano's going to go ahead and sacrifice this third base. Maybe the leaning reinforcements weren't in his build order. Maybe he just was so much not expecting this attack that he's just going to sacrifice the third and just keep moving along with his build.
Well, I think the biggest thing is, as we were speaking earlier, is Ling's speed. Does he even have it at this point? I don't believe he does.
No, he does not have Ling speed. It hasn't even been researched yet, I don't believe. I haven't seen it on the
We
tab
can check
for...
our upgrades.
Right. Go in here and check out the upgrade and see what exactly both of our players have researched.
No,
or
yeah, no
upgraded.
speed. I think Stephano at this point realized, hey, I could build Lings to send up there, but you can never fight 5 or 6 Marines that are being micromanaged with a couple slow Lings. They're simply just going to die.
Right. It looks like the combat shields is just completed for LiquidTaeja, and the stem is just now starting. Looks like he does have another command center. Where is that? There it is, in the bottom right. He's dropping another command center, probably going to take a quick third base.
Yeah, it looks like Stephano's trying to take his third again, but he's not replacing it. It looks like he's actually just trying to put it on the side.
I don't know if I really like that position, because a lot of Terrans like to siege up this cliff here and put siege tanks there and attack the third base. It's really hard to engage into siege tanks that have high ground vision. So here comes some roaches. They're going to come over here and probably poke at the natural expansion, or at least look for Taeja's army. Do you feel like Stephano may just take a quick fourth base and just keep building roaches?
At this point, I really feel like Stephano's got to make some kind of play happen here. I don't think roaches are the way to go. Not with how I see air being built. I see a starport being built. I'm not sure roaches are where he's going to want to go. Honestly, I think he's going to want to tech up, possibly to hive as fast as he can, and maybe get vipers. I think vipers are going to be a really big help here.
Definitely. So it looks like Stephano is getting his roach speed and pneumatized carapace, and it looks like there's going to be a small engagement here in the middle of the map, and he's going to shoo away the roaches for now.
Yeah, just a quick poke.
Almost complete.
With stem complete, that would be interesting because he could actually catch those roaches, but he's not going to want to fight on the creep.
Definitely not. Stephano's going to want to stay on the creep and keep Taeja away from destroying the creep. Looks like an overseer is going to head into the main base and see what exactly he can see. He's going to see the starport and the double engineering base.
Okay, this is a really interesting spot. At this point, we pretty much know that Stephano realizes he's facing 2 bases. Did he see that command center as well when he sent that overload?
I don't believe he did see that command center.
Yeah, he did.
He did see it.
Okay, so he can expect probably a third coming up soon. He knows the starport's there. He's seen the factory. He's seen the barracks. He's pretty much seen everything that LiquidTaeja's got. The answer now is, how is he going to respond to it?
Looks like both players are going to just macro up their units, and they're going to end up engaging here somewhere around Taeja's third base. The third is actually flying over there at this very moment. So there's going to be some type of battle for control over this third base here.
Yeah, just because that overseer can see it mostly. I like the way it even turns to watch the command center fly by. He's sending the overseer back in. At this point, LiquidTaeja just wants to defend that third. He doesn't want it to go down.
Looks like there's going to be a small poke here, and he's going to push him away with the Roach Hydra Force. Taeja just kind of taking a look at what Stephano has in his army composition.
Yeah, it looks like Stephano's reinforcing here with some Hydras. He's getting +2/+2. That's all really well and good, but as I was saying earlier, I would really like to see some Vipers come out. It's going to be really hard to engage with that many Marines, that many Marauders, that many siege tanks without Vipers.
Definitely. Stephano does end up sniping a medevac as it headed towards his expansion. Nothing too much in it, just a couple units. I don't really think Taeja was expecting it to do all that much, especially since he flew over creep.
Yeah, for sure. He wasn't trying to hide it much at all, but I do like it was responded to. Now this battle, I don't think it's going in Stephano's way. There's 2 siege tanks up there, 1 on high ground, more coming in.
Definitely, this engagement here, the siege tanks are blasting away at the Hydralisks, and the Hydralisks cannot just sit there in the tank fire. They're light units, so they take a lot of additional damage when units do splash damage. So he's going to go ahead and move those Hydras and Roaches away for now. Actually 2 siege tanks. I really like the position of these siege tanks.
Yeah. Now the interesting thing is he did see all of the siege tanks when he was fighting there. I think it might have been just a little bit of a miscalculation on how many Roaches and Hydras he had, or maybe he didn't realize what upgrades LiquidTaeja had on his units.
Definitely. It looks like there is an infestation pit being dropped. He may end up wanting to go for infestors, but I personally think it's going to be for swarmers. Looks like he's going to come up here. I like this little supply depot wall from LiquidTaeja. It's going to slow him down just enough time for LiquidTaeja to get over there and deal with it and make him leave, basically. He's going to defend his third base pretty easily with all these siege tanks.
Yeah, it looks like Stefano's just trying to break it up a little bit, maybe go into 2 smaller armies instead of 1 big ball. Just kind of pick them apart. But once again, unless we start seeing those like infestors we see dropping or vipers come in, Roach Hydra can't push into that many siege tanks he's building up.
Definitely not. You see LiquidTaeja coming up here on the creep. He's probably just going to scan and clean up the creep a little bit. Stefano's probably not going to want to engage into that. There's a lot of Marauders and Marines, and there are a couple tanks, even though he left his tanks at home, which I'm really surprised about that.
Yeah, a good fungal right there would have been nice, kind of fungling them while they were on creep. Can't reinforce back with the tanks. But it looks like Stefano's really just trying to go for mostly an overpowering Roach Hydra, and now he's finding himself with the lower tech units that can't really push into that.
I really like this move by Stefano, circling the side of the map, hoping that Taeja will move out to clear the creep or move to his now 3rd base location.
Honestly, I find this very, very, very scary, because if you haven't noticed, Stefano actually lost a lot of creep down there. So there's a lot of vision being lost. He almost didn't know until at this point that he's being pushed in on his 3rd.
Stefano's going to move in here into the natural expansion. At the same time, Taeja's going to come over here to the 3rd base of Stefano.
2 infestors go down.
Oh no, and now Taeja's tech is being sniped. His factory's going down, and he's probably going to have to sacrifice his natural expansion. Looks like he's also going to focus down the engineering base.
Not before they finish, I don't believe. Maybe that one? Oh! Wow, that was really good. That was a really important push right there. That might actually help him. He lost the 3rd. He's building another one on top, so that looks good.
Looks like Stefano's focusing down some SCVs here. So far, 15 SCVs have gone down, and it continues to rise.
20.
Now Taeja's sending back his army to deal with this Roach in his main base. But right now, Stefano is rebuilding his 3rd base, but he has no economy. None.
Stefano looks like he's still mining right now. At this point, mostly what he has to do is he just has to capitalize on what he just did. LiquidTaeja's got an army of 131 supply. I don't see him maxing out anytime soon after that attack. So I think if Stefano wants to do anything, he should get really aggressive right now and try to go in for a kill, because the longer this game goes on, the worse it's getting.
Definitely. Taeja is building up somewhat of a Terran death army, and it looks like, let's see what's on the production tab here, more Hydralists. Stefano's trying to rebuild his expansions, and he's going to try and take the gold base.
Yeah, the other thing is if we look, Stefano is actually floating quite a few minerals right now. That's a lot of minerals. My question is mostly, what's he going to be trying to do with this? I see he's taken 2 expansions actually. He took the gold in the middle, and he also retook the top base. I would really like to see what he's going to do with all that money, because right now it's not doing him any good.
Nice fungal. He's going to pick apart all these units here. This drop is not going to do anything. And ooh, is he going to lose the medevac? No, it boosts away. Looks like Taeja is moving in here to what would have been the 3rd base of Stefano. He may attack into the natural expansion. It looks like we're going to see a nice engagement here. Maybe he can get a nice...
Oh, that's fully powered Viper.
Nice fungal on the Terran
units. There's a fungal, and I'd like to see a blinding cloud go down. Looks like...
The Viper was focused down.
The Viper was focused down. I don't think that was a good play. It had full energy. I think its best bet would have been a sweep from that high ground down over, possibly just getting a quick blinding cloud, or maybe even abduct a siege tank.
Definitely. It looks like Stefano is going to circle around the side of the map again and try to take out Taeja's 4th base. He has a lot of mules on that base, so he definitely could win this engagement here, take out both of these siege tanks, and snipe this command center and get away, but it looks like Taeja's already running into the natural expansion.
Yeah, his natural is getting pretty taken apart here. I'm not sure how I feel about this. Let's look at the units. What do we actually have for units?
Looks like we have 15 Hydras, 9 Lings, 6 Roaches, and 1 Infestor to 5 Siege Tanks, 10 Marauders, and 42 Marines.
Backed up by 6 medevacs. I honestly think Stefano's probably lost it here. I don't really see it going anywhere further.
Stefano's going to come in here and try to push away this army. The Siege Tanks are doing really well against the Hydras on the low ground, but Stefano's going to come in here, pick off the Siege Tanks. Taeja's going to try to fly over here to the 3rd base and see if he can do any damage.
Yeah, I think he lost too much in this. Stefano was looking really good there, when he traded it earlier. This time, though, he went to trade, and I don't think he did enough damage.
Looks like the gold base will be sniped by Taeja as he kind of just runs by with his Terran army. Stefano's too late. His kind of right now chasing Taeja all over the map.
Yeah,
Taeja's trying to use his APM against Stephano.
Yeah, at this point he's really pressuring Stephano, just kind of saying like, hey, you know, I'm gonna pick you apart until you leave the game. I don't think Stephano has the opportunity now to rebuild the army that's gonna stop LiquidTaeja. I think it's just gone too far.
The multitasking of Taeja is pulling Stephano apart piece by piece. The only thing Stephano could do is really send his Roach and Hydra to go and defend each drop one at a time. Looking now back at the production now, we have 2 more Infestors on the way and a Hydra Den. Maybe we didn't see that. Maybe the Hydra Den got sniped when he was in the main base of Stephano.
Yeah, I think it did get sniped. If you go down here, it looks like his Roach Warren's also gonna die if we don't see some kind of creep spread go onto that.
Looks like this hatchery will be finished here in a minute. Should save his Roach Den if he can get some creep over there.
Yeah, if you notice his Infestor, he's actually creeping it. He's got an Overlord on the infestation pit, keeping it alive, which is really good. Though it looks like LiquidTaeja is pushing at the bottom.
Looks like he's gonna focus down this.
Oh, didn't get a cancel.
No cancel, and he's just gonna fly away. A perfect engagement by LiquidTaeja.
Once again, pushing at the top. At this point, he's just pushing creep back. He knows if he can get that vision down, he'll have an easier time pushing into the Stephano's base.
Looks like there is a drop headed over here towards the now 3rd base of EGStephano, and he's probably just going to want to poke in here, take out a few drones, and back away. I don't foresee this drop doing too much damage.
No, just based on what it has. Now, the interesting thing is, as you noticed, he's not actually pushing in with it right now. The drop's just sitting up there waiting. I think mostly he's waiting until he sees his army out of place. Oh, or he's going for a double push at one time. This is probably really good as well.
Looks like Stephano is going to send some roaches to the 3rd base of Taeja, but like we were saying, well, no, he did not rebuild that supply depot wall. Looks like there is going to be an engagement. The roaches are going to push away the Marauders and Marines, and he's going to walk up into the 3rd base of Taeja. Do you think Taeja can defend this? This is a huge roach counterattack.
Yeah, but we see his reinforcements coming. I think this is going to be pretty much the end of it. Just look at the top. I always like to say this. The supply and the resources say it all. Stephano's at 136 with 300, almost 400 minerals, while LiquidTaeja's easily capped out here with 1,000, going on 3-3 upgrades. I don't see any way that LiquidTaeja can lose this.
Looks like Taeja's going to walk up into the 3rd and siege his tanks on the low ground. There are a couple Vipers here for Stephano, but I'm not really liking the choices of using the blinding clouds on the ramp instead of putting them on the tanks.
Now, if you notice, he did abduct one of the tanks. That was really good. I feel like that's what he should be trying to do here. If he can't get those great blinding clouds, try to get a couple of ducks on the siege tanks. Roaches and Hydras can kill Marines all day long, but they can't fight in the siege tanks.
Definitely not another fungal and blinding cloud there from Stephano. It's really nice to see a combo of both, but I really think you should focus these tanks down first and then take care of the bio. The tanks are going to shell away at your army. Nice abduct there. He's going to focus down the tank, get one for free, and he's going to go ahead and position his army back over here. But Stephano did lose his 4th base again.
Yeah. Now, if you notice, he tried to take a ninja expansion at the very, very bottom. I don't really see the game going that long. We're probably going to see a GG here pretty soon. As a Zerg player, you kind of have to know when you're beat.
Definitely a 200 supply army now for LiquidTaeja against 155. There are a couple swarm hosts on the map, but I think it's too late. There's not going to be enough units, and Taeja is going to come in here. He's going to focus down these roaches and Hydras. Nice fungals from the Zerg army.
Nice blinding cloud as well over top that siege tank, but once again, there's just simply not enough here. We look at the supply top 178 to 90. I don't really know anything that's going to save Stephano at this point.
As of right now, there are constant reinforcements heading over from Taeja, and it looks like all the swarm hosts are going to go down.
There's the scan. Yeah, the swarm hosts are going down. And GG.
So as you can see, a pretty straightforward game from LiquidTaeja. What I really liked about this game was LiquidTaeja always had his army on the map trying to poke at Stephano. Whenever Stephano became out of position, LiquidTaeja always capitalized on it and sniped a hatchery, sniped some units, got a better engagement. What do you feel really stuck out to you about this game?
The interesting thing about this game was that third so early being taken down by like 5 or 6 Marines.
Definitely. There was a third here, and it was sniped by like 5 or 6 Marines, and I agree. It was so bad for Stephano. He just let it fall.
I mean, I don't think it was so much, he let it fall. He just knew there was no way to save it.
Right. He accepted it.
Yeah, his build had nothing to stop early aggression. He's seen one command center being built, and he just assumed that LiquidTaeja was going to be completely greedy. Taeja used that to his advantage. He said, no, I'm also dropping 2 barracks behind this. Why don't you take these 5 Marines in your third?
Right. So, as you can see here, a pretty awesome game, LiquidTaeja versus EGStephano. If you really like our videos, please feel free to follow us on Twitch at teambanished, and on YouTube, you can search for us teambanished, banished, Tebow, or Morvox, or you can search for any of the players that we cast daily. You can find our stream, our channel, all that on the internet. Once again, thank you very much for watching. Have any final closing thoughts?
I'll see you next time.